does not deserve what he got.
Puffin Sean was laid to rest yesterday. And just days after more than a dozen explosions occurred, some residents are now being allowed back into their homes and in the area there. The explosions and evacuations were spread across 3 towns in Merrimack Valley, Massachusetts, outside of Boston there. The blasts left 1 person dead, many homes damaged. Natural gas technicians are checking lines and approving safe conditions for people to return. However, officials say that they may still be without gas and power for some time. Hundreds of workers are out checking homes and the streets in the area.
We have over 900 workers here on system, checking the houses, making sure the houses are safe and the system's safe. They're working 24/7 on the system, and today they'll be continuing to get into people's homes, making sure they clear gas, and with the focus on restoring electric power to the customers this year.
In fact, the governor of Massachusetts declared a state of emergency in the wake of those explosions. Political leaders are also demanding answers from the president of Columbia Gas, who supplies the gas to the cities there. Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh has denied accusations of alleged sexual misconduct from when he was in high school. 2 sources say the allegations come from a letter Senator Dianne Feinstein of California sent to the FBI. Feinstein said that somebody came to her with information on Kavanaugh. Sources say the accusations relate to an alleged sexual encounter that happened when Kavanaugh was about 17 years old. Senate Republicans releasing a letter of their own from dozens of women who knew Kavanaugh from high school, saying he, quote, behaved honorably and treated women with respect. The Senate Judiciary Committee is set to vote next week on whether to move Kavanaugh's confirmation to a vote on the floor. And a new study is showing some progress in the fight against opioids. Newly released information and results from a nationwide survey found that the number of opioid users has gone down. According to the study, fewer Americans are misusing or addicted to prescription opioid painkillers, and the number of new heroin users has also significantly dropped. The Trump administration says the positive trends show government efforts are working, saying, quote, we are making progress. Well, a mother has died after being hit by a car while visiting her daughter's memorial in New York. Police say Evelyn Rodriguez was setting up a memorial yesterday for her daughter, who was allegedly killed by gang members when a neighbor confronted her about the items on her property. That female neighbor then allegedly tried to run over the items but struck Rodriguez. Rodriguez became an advocate against gang violence after 16-year-old Kayla Cuevas and 15-year-old Nissa Mickens were beaten to death in 2016 near Cuevas' home. 4 alleged members of the MS-13 gang were charged with those murders. President Trump tweeted condolences to her, and she was a featured guest at this year's State of the Union address. Well, you may soon be getting a text message from FEMA. The Federal Emergency Management Agency is testing a new warning system, and the goal is to alert Americans to emergencies like severe weather and missing children. Now, most cell phone users will receive the alert Thursday afternoon. The message will be entitled Presidential Alert, but will indicate it is only a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. Major cell phone carriers, including AT&T, Verizon, and Sprint, will be participating. FEMA will also test the emergency alert system on radio and television stations. Again, that is Thursday, so if you get it, now you know why. A man has been rescued in the Philippines, look at this, after attempting to cross raging floodwaters. Look at how fast those are moving. This is a typhoon which brought extreme rain and wind to the northern Philippines. At one point, it qualified as a super typhoon. That's the strongest storm anywhere on the planet this year. The storm has now been downgraded to a typhoon, but of course is still leaving destruction in its wake. At least 12 people are dead, 6 more missing. As southern China braces for that powerful storm, there have been dozens of landslides and hundreds of homes have been destroyed as well. Boy, the torrential rains and just the fast-moving rivers there. So a special ceremony was held at the Montecito Fire Department for firefighters, law enforcement, and emergency medical professionals. The U.S. Postal Service is recognizing emergency personnel in the state and all across the nation with a unique forever stamp. You see it there? Oprah Winfrey also spoke at the ceremony and paid tribute to those who inspired that stamp.
The stamp is merely a symbol of what the spirit of each of you represents. Each of you represents the best of us. You represent the rising of courage, the rising of honor, the rising of compassion, endurance, surviving.
It's a good-looking stamp. The new Forever stamp is designed with emergency crews in mind. It features a firefighter, you see there, a paramedic, law enforcement officer, in the colors red, white, and blue. The Delmar Fairgrounds is packed for yet another performance-filled day today. How about a little earth, wind, and fire to get the juices going? Coming up right here on the KUSI News as we continue. Everything you need to know about the rest of the weekend's fun happening there at Kaboo. Coming up.
Open speed, science in motion, only at the San Diego Air and Space Museum.
Fact is,